What up, guys? This is Derek Larger. I'm here with my man, Young Ramen again. Now, please stand up. Before I say anything else, look at this, y'all. He got a UCLA Russell Westbrook original jersey. I swear this man never has enough jerseys. I see him every 2 weeks, or every 3 weeks he's buying a new jersey.
He's got to get the Harden one next.
He's got to get the Harden one next. So he's already on top of it. So, we got a lot to discuss today. First, I'm going to give a few shout-outs. Shout out to Kyle Korver for becoming the 5th all-time on the NBA's three-point list, just past Vince Carter and Jamal Crawford for 5th all-time Saturday against the Bulls. Shout out to the Oscars. This might have been one of the biggest fails or one of the biggest L's that Hollywood has ever taken, where if y'all don't know what happened last Sunday night, go check it out. Look it up. It's out there. It was where an academic award for Best Picture was assigned to the wrong film. The producer, whoever it was that was supposed to give those people the right card, gave them the wrong card, and the group was already up there. They had given their presentations out. They had given their speeches, and little did they know, the producer comes on and says, "No, this is not a joke. Moonlight, you won." He shows the audience the actual slip. So make sure to check it out because it was the funniest thing. It blew up all over the place. And so, also, shout out to Steph Curry, who went 0 for 11 last night against the Sixers. He tied an NBA record for most threes attempted without a make. Who did he tie? Trey Burke. That makes him happy. So, I love you, Steph Curry. You're a marksman, but that was the funniest. I don't love Steph Curry just because of the fact that I'm a Cavs fan. I do admire his three-point marksmanship, but that was astronomically bad. He airballed like 3 of them. Yes, he airballed 3 of them. It was really bad. Anyway, so we move on to the next one. David Perry, the Colts defensive lineman, arrested in Arizona earlier yesterday for auto theft charges, verbal abuse on an officer, and a suspicion of DUI. So there you go. And yeah, it's a career ender right there. And then LaMelo Ball for missing 23 pointers in his last game. Who did they face?
I don't know how to pronounce it. Manute Ball's son.
Oh, okay. All right, so now that you've heard all the shout-outs that I've given out, we will get into our topics today, which will cover the NFL and the NBA. So I'm going to ask Young Ramen here to rate these trades or these signings, I should say, as a great decision, a good decision, or a bad decision. All right, so Eric Berry being re-signed to the Chiefs for 6 years, $78 million. He is guaranteed $40 million and a $20 million signing bonus. It now makes him the highest paid safety in the NFL. Great, good, or bad move?
It was good because they had to pay him to get him back. And he's really good.
So it's not a great move.
It's not a great move because that's a lot of money.
I think it's a great move because I think he is definitely worth that money. I think he's worth. Now, he's not going to have to stay for the 6 years. After 4 years, there's a clause where he can, where the Chiefs can renegotiate the contract. But it's a guaranteed $40 million, and if he sticks with the 6 years, then he's going to get paid $78. So next one, Adrian Peterson is not going to re-sign with the Minnesota Vikings. He will become an unrestricted free agent. And this saves the Minnesota Vikings $18 million.
That is
a great, good, or bad trade?
That's a great move.
That's a great move?
That's a great move because he's what? 30?
He's 32. He's 32, yes. He's the oldest active running back besides Frank Gore.
Just coming off of, was it an ACL injury or a meniscus
It was a meniscus tear, yes. I think it's a good move, too. I mean, you wanted to keep him, but if you were having to pay him $18 million, I say that's a little too much. Right. It wasn't like he was asking. He wasn't asking the Minnesota Vikings for this, but his contract stated that he was going to get $18 million. Yeah. But I think it was a good move nonetheless. Kirk Cousins got the franchise tag put on him by the Redskins. That's a great, good, great, good, or bad move.
But they should have just re-signed him because he's really good in like.
Well, a lot of people don't seem to think so. I know that I agree with you. Like last year, he almost had an MVP caliber with the way he carried that team last year. Yes, I think it's a good move by the Redskins to keep him. The only thing I think
is that they're trying to get some more pieces around.
Yes, they're trying to. Yes, still, that or they're trying to continue to shop him. Yeah. That's the thing. So
well, why would they shop him? Because like.
They were trying to these last few days. Like, yeah, I know.
I know they're trying to get Jay Cutler.
I know. That's what's... No. Anyone that tries to get Jay Cutler, besides, like, maybe the Texans or the 49ers, y'all are full of crap.
Even them, no.
Yeah, even them. Like, even getting Deshaun Watson would be the better option. So, another one. Jamal Charles, just a few minutes ago, got released from the Chiefs. That saves the Chiefs $2.6 million in cap space. So it's obvious, even though they're losing their executive, Chris Ballard, they're not afraid to make some choices. Was this a good, bad, or great move?
It's a good move. He's washed up.
Yeah, I would say that's the same thing. And you have Spencer Ware. Isn't Spencer Ware? Yeah, a lot of people have already been saying that, he can take over just as well as Jamal Charles has. Right. So, and the other two that's been going on, the Pittsburgh Steelers had franchise tagged Le'Veon Bell and re-signed Antonio Brown to an extension for a 4-year, $68 million contract. Were those great, good, or bad moves?
I think it should have been the other way around.
Okay.
Where they should have re-signed Bell and then
franchise tagged
Brown.
And why is that? Why do you think that?
Because Le'Veon Bell's been top 3 running back in the league.
Yeah, but you know the reason why they did that, right? No. He's missed 5 games in the last 2 years because of drug issues. That's the big deal. That's why I think that's what's keeping him from getting that deal. I say if he does the same thing he did this year, stays out of trouble, gets 1,500 yards, all-purpose yards, and receiving and running, then they will give him the bigger contract that he deserves. Yeah. But, they are afraid that if he does something stupid again like he has, then that's what they'll do. And obviously...
Antonio Brown?
Yeah, I know. But apparently... Yes, that was very dumb, but apparently the Steelers aren't insanely fazed by it. I mean, apparently they think that he's going to mature and he's going to continue to...
And they were losing that game either way.
Yeah, they were going to lose that either way. And, and to his credit, he is top 3 best receivers in the NFL, if not the best. So, I mean,
Jones, though.
Yeah, well, I was saying if not the best. If you wanted to make an argument saying that he was the best, then go right ahead. Mike Evans is great. He did great in fantasy this year. Thank you, Mike Evans. But But he's not the best receiver. All right. So we talked about the NFL. Let's talk about the NBA. So some of you may have heard that JaVale McGee has been taking shots at Shaq recently for his comments towards the NBA basketball player, and has specifically for Shaq's segment on NBA Insider on TNT, Shaq'd in a Fool, which features JaVale McGee more times than any other NBA basketball player. Now, Shaq always does this for just for a good laugh, and so does the producers of the show who authorized him to do this. So JaVale McGee, his mom, and the Warriors organization have gone at Shaq asking for punishment towards Shaq. Now, JaVale McGee's mom said that Shaq needs to stop bullying her son, and needs to lose his job. And so, from what I've been told from him was that Shaq's mom told Shaq to stop making JaVale on the show, and then it just left at that. So I want to get your opinion on this. What do you make of all this? Like, is there any right or wrong guy here? Or is...
I mean, they're kind of both wrong, really, because like JaVale's tweet wasn't exactly
Yeah, well, and Shaq has also been taking shots on JaVale, and JaVale's been taking shots at Shaq on Twitter.
Once it went to Twitter, then they're both kind of wrong.
Right, but I mean...
Shaq shouldn't be fired for that. He should be fired because he's really not good at his job.
You don't think he's really that good at his job?
He doesn't analyze anything.
But I mean, to leave the firing aside, is this a bigger deal? Is this JaVale making a bigger deal than what it really is? I completely understand what you're saying. He does deserve a point because he gets
there for things that aren't worth being on there.
Well, see, and here's the thing: nobody knows JaVale McGee other than the fact that he makes a lot of stupid basketball plays, right?
All of those plays from 4 years ago.
Because he
tried to run the floor and
and this year too, he's been trying to do it ever since he came into the league. He's the high flying dunker that's 7 foot tall, can block anybody. That was his image, and then he started making. He started looking bad because he started tripping his own teammates, started inbounding the ball for the opposite team,
that one was hilarious.
Throwing out-of-bounds passes and dunks for no reason at all, tripping other people. It's it
was a bad alley-oop.
It was a bad alley-oop. All you had to do was grab the ball. You knew you weren't going to extend that far. You did this. You threw it off to the side. Okay, look. I understand where he's coming from because what Shaq is doing is that he's not trying to hurt JaVale, but the problem is that people now will see JaVale and say, "Oh, you're that basketball player that can't ever keep a job, right?" And so that's where JaVale's getting at. But I mean, if you'd taken it a little bit differently, if you had just contacted Shaq and man to man, he has in the past, but he's taken a wrong kind of approach to it. Yeah. I think that if you just took maybe someone of figure, maybe talked to one of the producers and said, "Hey, listen, I don't mind if Shaq does this, but I would love it if you guys could stop using me so much." Talk man to man, something with the producers, especially because the producers let Shaq do this. It's not like Shaq just thinks of this in his head, and the producers are the ones that allow this to happen on the show. Mm-hmm. So, it's a fault on both terms. Shaq, you should just stop doing it so much, and JaVale, stick to basketball. Just play basketball. Stop throwing balls out of bounds and tripping over Kyle Lowry. Seriously, stop, and then you won't get picked on so much. All right, so we're gonna get through a couple of these other ones really quick. The most recent one is with the addition of Deron Williams, who they just officially signed yesterday, and Bogut is not a lock yet for the Cavs. He says he's still shopping himself for the Spurs, the Clippers, the Cavs, and a couple of others. Mm-hmm. But whether or not the Cavs lock Andrew Bogut or not, if they do happen to get him, how much of an increase does this give Cleveland to win the finals?
They're still going to lose.
He's still going to lose. See, there you go.
Instead of losing in 5, they'll lose in 6.
I will see them going to Game 7, and they're going to win again in Game 7. Just watch it, folks. I called it last year. I called it.
For how long?
Darren Williams is not Darren Williams that we knew from back in 2012. We get that. He's not the same Deron Williams, but you're not asking him to be a Kyrie Irving. You're asking him for 15 minutes a game. Can you not turn the ball over, move the ball around, hit a couple shots? That's it. Yeah. That's all you got to do. You don't have to do much.
That much to their team, really.
But see, that's always been a bit
worse than
because of the fact that Kyrie Irving, when he's not running the point, LeBron has to run the point for the second unit a lot of times.
LeBron runs the point for the first unit
and the second unit LeBron, no, seriously, LeBron, the last 2 games, I don't know if you've watched it, but he has stayed in with the second unit when Kyrie Irving comes off. Mm-hmm. LeBron is now officially the point guard with the backups. So if you can get Deron Williams to do 15 minutes, that keeps LeBron maybe off the court for another 5 minutes in the game, and then that's it. And then that just adds to your offensive repertoire. And if you got Andrew Bogut, who is...
That will help them.
That would help them more than Deron Williams. That would help them more than Deron Williams
You just
because...
2013 correctly.
But see, like, these Golden State Warriors fans are like, Andrew Bogut is one of the many reasons why the Cavs won the finals because Andrew Bogut wasn't there to block LeBron James. Now, if Andrew Bogut goes to the Cavs, all these Golden State Warriors fans are like, he's not even really that good. Like,
I mean,
that was just 5 months ago.
Since that injury.
I know, but, I mean, the fact that his value's gone down because of the fact that Golden State got rid of him. Mm-hmm. And only because they wanted to add Kevin Durant. But that's it. So,
only because they wanted to add Kevin Durant.
Do you agree that it influences their chance to maybe win the finals?
It helps,
or not?
But they still lose.
Okay, so that's where we go on that one. So, now we're going to discuss a topic that he doesn't want to talk about, but I'm going to throw it at him anyway. So, the Thunder beat the New Orleans Pelicans the other night with a late spurt by Russell Westbrook himself, getting 41, 11, and 11, with 9 turnovers, I might add. So, the one thing I would say is Russell Westbrook's triple-double is overshadowing the turnovers that he gets, but which is kind of like what LeBron James did in the finals. He turned the ball over a lot, but then again, his greatness, the way he ran the game, was able to work through it. But here's the thing, is the big question I'm asking you. Is Russell Westbrook's dominance on the Thunder scaring away other superstars from coming to OKC? I mean, I know you're a big Russell Westbrook fan, all right? Now, just seriously answer this, because Kevin Durant said that I know he was lying when he said said that Russell Westbrook was his brother. I get it, but it was because he didn't think he could win a ring with Russell Westbrook.
Which is kind of stupid.
Which is kind of stupid because they should have, yes. But... I talked about this with him a minute ago. It's kind of the Kobe and Shaq relationship. They worked together just because they were two great players and they were able to win championships. But then when Kobe had enough of Shaq and Kobe didn't want to live in the Shaq moment, he just said, Shaq, I don't want you anymore. I'm not giving you a chance. Get out of L.A., right. Which was basically indirectly what he was saying. And Kobe just went on with being Kobe Bryant, who literally was 70% of his offense's efficiency at the end of that few years. So is Russell Westbrook kind of the reason why Kevin Durant left and is why he's scaring away potential superstars?
I don't think he's why KD left. I don't think that's true. Because it's just...
I mean, give me a reason why. I want to know your answer. Like, seriously, why do you think Russell Westbrook is not the reason why Kevin Durant left?
Like, KD went to the Warriors.
Uh-huh.
Like, that's what tells me it's like he just wants to win a ring the easiest way possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like Russell, it's not necessarily that Russell Westbrook's hogging the spotlight, because KD was still the best player on that team.
Yes, but then everyone always said, why isn't Kevin Durant your best shooter, your best playmaker, getting the ball in the final minutes of games when it should be his ball, considering he was the number 2 player is still the number 2 player in the NBA, in my opinion, and Russell's over here sometimes almost costing them games a lot because he's holding the ball over 50% of the time.
I mean, I think that's blown out of proportion.
I can get it now because his team isn't that great now.
They're terrible.
But do you think if Russell Westbrook did more of like a LeBron James and tried to get players involved instead of working on his dominance, would that make his team better?
Right now.
Right now, yes. No. You don't think so?
They're trash. Apart from Westbrook, that team is trash.
I mean, you do have a Steven Adams and a Enes Kanter
Kanter's injured.
He's going to come back.
Well, yeah, but he was productive when he was there. Like,
yes, but you have a defensive big man in Steven Adams. You have an offensive big man in Enes Kanter. You do have a Victor Oladipo who can play.
Okay, but
you can play.
Russell Westbrook's averaging 10 assists a game without a good shooter on his team, really. Sabonis, I feel like he can shoot a little bit.
Yeah, they're one of the worst three-point shooting teams.
One of the worst
in
three-point shooting teams in the league right now. And he's still averaging 10 assists a game. He's third in assists right now, I think, behind Harden and John Wall.
Okay.
I believe. And what more should he do? Like, if he passes the ball more, they're just gonna brick more threes.
Well, let's just think about this one instead of this season. Go back to last season and seasons before. So you don't think that Russell Westbrook, being the dominant player that he is and somewhat a quote-unquote ball hog that he is, you think that has no reason to why KD left?
Well,
and why other superstars aren't coming back?
Well, what other superstars would come there? Because they don't really have...
Well, other superstars that want to possibly win a championship.
Nobody was going to come there last year because everyone just assumed KD's probably going to resign.
Right.
They thought KD was going to resign.
But, like, is it going to scare away superstars later on?
I don't think so, because Russell's not doing that when he has people to actually give the ball to.
He did it all last season. He was this close to averaging the numbers that he is now, and he was still doing that last season.
But it's not like KD's numbers were getting hurt by that. KD still won MVP.
No, 2 years ago, but this last season, his numbers were down because of the simple fact his amount of shots that he shot last season dropped by 4 or 5 shots a game last season because of the simple fact that Russell Westbrook is the one that's usually taking over most of the game. Like, I love Russell Westbrook. I mean, if you had to ask me for one point guard that I would want to have, he is in my top 3. No doubt about it. But, I mean, sometimes that level of dominance that he has, sometimes he doesn't know how to work with it.
Blaming him that he's too good. Like, it's not his fault that he's better than most of the other players. Like,
yeah, I know. But it's like, it was the same with Kyrie. Like, you know, I hope that in the near future, when KD comes back, hopefully, Kyrie had to learn he was the face of the Cleveland franchise before LeBron came back. Mm-hmm. And then he had to realize, this isn't my organization anymore, it's LeBron's. And then Kyrie, the guy who did most of the work on Cleveland.
I don't think he needed to do much of a realization, because when he was the face of their franchise, they sucked.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I guess that's true. Like, Cleveland was still bad, but Russell, it's like they're relevant, even though
decent enough to make the playoffs.
Yeah, right.
Which is pretty crazy in the West.
But it kind of is that same thing, you know. It's a little bit different, but you know, we'll continue to talk about that. Okay, one more question. Even one more question. If Russell Westbrook doesn't average a triple-double this season, does that hurt his MVP race?
Yeah, it does.
It does hurt? Yeah. And I agree with that, too. Yeah. Because, you know, everyone's fascinated with the triple-double stats. Right. If he doesn't do it, it's James Harden's for real. It really is.
Yeah, most likely.
All right, guys, so that's all we have today. You just heard a lot of stuff that's going on recently. Be sure to leave a comment, subscribe, tell your friends about it, and be sure to give me suggestions on what to talk about next.
Lonzo.
Yeah, Lonzo will be a feature later on. This guy right here. That you have to see the hair at some point. All right, me and Young Ramen are out. Till next time, guys. Peace.